All right, strap in everyone for this week's deep dive, straight into the heart of Nigeria's news.
You know,
We've got a whole stack of headlines here,
yeah.
from sources like The Nation newspaper, Daily Trust, Punch newspapers.
hmm
You name it, we got it.
The whole gamut.
Really trying to get like a 360 view
Yeah,
of what's going on this week.
totally.
So what are the stories
Yeah.
that everyone's buzzing about?
I think what's so interesting this week is just how much,
Yeah.
everything connects to everything else. You've got the health stories
Yeah.
that are all tied up with economic factors.
Yeah.
Then you see the political clashes, and they're all happening against this backdrop of, social movements.
Right.
It's like this big.
It's a tapestry.
It is. It's a tapestry.
Totally.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so let's talk about something that really,
Yeah.
jumped out at me.
Yeah.
It was from The Nation newspaper,
Okay.
and the headline was, FCT, Lagos, 25 others to face food crisis.
Ooh, that's a heavy one.
Right. It's
It's a gut punch.
it is.
For sure.
And it's based on this Cadre Harmonisé report that's projecting that a staggering 33.1 million people in Nigeria
Wow.
could be facing food insecurity in just the coming months.
In the coming months. That's crazy.
And that includes over 500,000 internally displaced persons.
Oh, wow.
And major urban centers like the SCT and Lagos are right in the thick of it.
They're right there.
So
Yeah.
what's going on here?
Well, I think it's multifaceted.
Okay.
The article mentions conflict, but you also have to look at the role of climate change.
Right.
It's having a huge impact on agriculture.
Right.
And then you add in economic instability,
Yeah.
making it even harder for people to afford basic necessities.
Right.
So it's like all these factors are coming together.
It's like this perfect storm.
It is a perfect storm.
And it's really important, I
Yeah.
think, to understand
Yeah.
these global issues
Totally.
playing out right here in Nigeria.
Right here, right now.
Right. Exactly.
Affecting real people.
And it's not just statistics.
Yeah.
These are people's lives.
Absolutely.
But, even amidst all of this,
Mm-hmm.
there are some glimmers of hope.
Oh, for sure.
I was really struck by this story
Yeah.
about mothers. Two mothers.
Oh, yeah.
They're tackling this pediatric HIV transmission issue.
I love that story.
It was also from the Nation newspaper.
Yeah.
And they're aiming to train and empower 5,000 women
Wow.
living with HIV
That's amazing.
to help prevent transmission to their children.
So important.
It's really like community-based healthcare at its best.
That's a great way to put it.
And speaking of community action,
Mm-hmm.
how about Mayor Delio Shinowo of Agboy Kitu LCDA?
Oh, yeah. What about him?
The Nation newspaper was highlighting this incredible
Yeah.
free health mission
So cool.
that he spearheaded,
Yeah.
and it reached 1,200 people.
1,200 people.
Think about the impact
That's incredible.
on all those lives.
Yeah.
It's a really powerful reminder
It is.
that even at the local level,
Totally.
leadership can make a huge difference
Absolutely.
in addressing these health challenges.
Yeah, totally agree.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and talk about some politics.
All right, let's do it.
The Ondo governorship election is coming up fast.
It's right around the corner.
Right. And the Nation newspaper covered a debate
Oh, yeah.
that
I
got
read about that.
pretty heated.
It was pretty intense.
It was
Yeah.
between Governor Lucky Ayatiwa and Agboola Ajayi.
Yeah, they were really going at it.
They were on Channels Television,
Mm-hmm.
and they covered
Yeah.
some really crucial issues,
Like what?
like security, infrastructure development, job creation,
Stuff that really matters.
all things
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
directly affect the lives of Nigerians.
Absolutely.
And it's not just local politics that's making headlines.
Right.
The Senate is vowing to crack down on illegal mining nationwide.
Oh, wow. That's a big one.
Yeah, this was reported by the Nation newspaper.
Yeah.
And this is
What's the story there?
a big deal.
Okay.
Because these illegal mining operations,
Yeah.
they're operating outside of regulations.
All right.
So the government is losing out on vital revenue.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the environmental damage,
Oh, yeah. I bet.
which can be devastating.
Totally.
Deforestation,
Yeah.
soil erosion, water pollution.
It's like a domino effect.
It's bad news.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's really highlighting, I think, the importance
Well, yeah.
of holding elected officials accountable
Mm-hmm.
for protecting the economy
Yeah.
and the environment.
For sure. That's a big one.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of accountability,
Yes.
the Nation newspaper also reported on the House of Representatives,
Okay.
emphasizing transparency in the use of the Ecological Fund.
Now, that's something I think we can all get behind.
All right.
Transparency is key.
Builds trust.
It does.
If the government's going to be able to tackle these environmental challenges,
Mm-hmm.
People need to know that those funds are being used responsibly.
Absolutely. Accountability is key.
Okay, so before we move on,
Yeah.
there was a bit of a lighter moment
Okay.
in the Nation newspaper that I thought was worth mentioning.
All right, let's hear it.
It was President Bola Tinubu
Oh, yeah.
sending birthday wishes to Minister Hannatu Musawa
How nice.
on her 50th.
That's awesome.
Just a little touch of humanity
yeah.
amidst all the serious news.
Yeah, we need that sometimes.
It's a good reminder that even in the world of politics, people are still celebrating life's milestones.
That's the truth.
Right.
Absolutely.
But back to those serious matters.
Okay.
Former Labour Minister Chris Nengage
Yeah.
was featured in the Nation newspaper, reflecting on the legacy of the late Ohanaeze Ndigbo Worldwide President General, Chief Emmanuel Iwanyanwu.
Oh, wow. What a title.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It was a really powerful tribute. It was highlighting Chief Iwanyanwu's dedication to his people.
Yeah.
And it really underscored
Sure.
the importance of leadership and unity, especially in times of change and uncertainty.
Absolutely.
Now, speaking of change,
Yeah.
let's talk about this #NBED governance movement.
Okay.
This has been all over the news.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Daily Trust and Punch newspapers have both been covering these ongoing protests
Right.
and the demands for the release of these detained minors.
Wow.
This is where we see the power
Yeah.
of citizen activism.
It's a powerful thing.
And it's a complex situation
For sure.
with strong opinions on all sides.
Totally.
What stands out to you about this movement?
Well, I think for me, it's the level of passion
Yeah,
and just the desire for real change.
it's palpable,
It is.
right? And it highlights,
Yeah.
I think, the importance of freedom of expression
Absolutely.
and peaceful assembly in a democratic society.
Those are cornerstones
Right.
for sure. Welcome back, everyone, for part 2 of our deep dive.
Back into the news cycle.
Back into it.
You know, really trying to unpack these stories.
Yeah.
Figure out what's going on and what it all means for you.
Exactly. What it means for all of us.
So I think it's worth circling back
Yeah.
to that Cadre Harmonese report we
Yeah.
touched on earlier. That headline from the Nation newspaper, you know, FCT, Lagos, 25 others to face food crisis.
Yeah. That one was really startling.
It's intense, right?
Yeah.
It paints a very stark picture.
It does.
33.1 million people
That's a lot of people.
potentially facing food insecurity.
Yeah, it's not just a number.
It's massive.
It's peak.
And it's easy to kind of just skim past a headline like that.
It is.
But we need to like really dig into what it means.
You gotta unpack it.
Right.
Yeah.
This is livelihoods,
These huge
stability, families
family structure
struggling to put food on the table.
to put food on the table. Absolutely.
And remember, over 500,000 of those affected
Yeah.
are internally displaced persons,
That
adding another layer of complexity
totally another
to
layer.
this whole
It's
situation.
an already difficult situation.
Right. So what can be done?
I mean, it's the question, isn't it?
It feels kind of overwhelming.
It does.
Right.
It feels big.
Where do you even begin
Yeah.
to tackle a problem of this scale?
Well, that's where things get interesting, I think.
Okay.
You know, the article itself
Yeah.
doesn't necessarily offer like
Guy.
concrete solutions.
Right.
But it sparks a conversation.
It does.
And that's what we need.
Right. And for you, the listener, this is a chance to really think critically about the problem.
It is. Absolutely.
We know that conflict plays a role,
Right.
but what about things like climate resilient agriculture?
Totally.
Could investing in that
Yeah.
help mitigate some of these issues?
It could be part of the solution for sure.
Or how about strengthening those social safety nets
Yes.
to support vulnerable populations?
Absolutely. That's crucial.
Those are great points.
We need a multi-pronged approach.
Right. It feels like a multi-pronged approach is needed.
It's not a one-size-fits-all situation.
We need to be looking at things like improving infrastructure for food distribution,
So important.
making sure that what's produced
Yeah.
actually reaches
Gets to where it needs to go.
the people
To the people who need it the most.
who need it.
Absolutely.
And it's not just about government action either.
Right.
What about what you can do?
Totally. We all have a role to play.
Think about supporting local farmers markets,
Yes.
reducing food waste at home,
Great point.
even just being aware of the problem,
Awareness is huge.
talking about it.
Spreading the word.
It all contributes
Yeah.
to a solution.
Every little bit helps.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. And talk about another headline that caught my eye.
All right. What is it?
This was the Senate's pledge to crack down
Okay.
on illegal mining operations
Oh, yeah.
nationwide.
That's a big one.
This was from the Nation newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
And this is something with serious consequences
It is.
for everyone.
For sure.
We talked about the lost revenue for the government,
Right.
but for the communities
Yeah.
where this is happening,
Exactly.
it's their environment
No.
that's being destroyed,
Their water sources.
their water sources,
Their land.
their farmland.
Absolutely.
And it's often happening
Yeah.
with no regard
Right.
to worker safety.
So there's a human cost as well.
There's a human cost.
Yeah.
It was this classic case
That does.
of short-term profits
Mm-hmm.
at the expense of long-term sustainability.
You got it.
The Senate's commitment is a good first step,
It is.
but the key is going to be enforcement.
That's where the rubber meets the road.
Right, and that's where you come in. Being aware of this issue,
Stay informed.
demanding transparency from your elected officials,
Mm-hmm.
holding them accountable
Holding their feet to the fire.
for taking concrete action.
Exactly.
That's how we make sure
Yeah.
this isn't just empty promises.
That's how we make change happen.
Right. Absolutely.
And while we're talking about accountability,
Okay.
how about the House of Representatives
Mhm.
and their focus
Yeah.
on the transparent use
Right.
of the Ecological Fund?
That's a good one.
Also reported by the Nation newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, transparency is crucial,
Right.
for any government initiative,
It is.
especially when it comes to something as important as the Ecological Fund.
Right, because this is money
Yeah.
that's supposed to be used to address
Mhm.
environmental challenges,
Protecting your planet.
protecting ecosystems,
Yeah.
mitigating climate change,
So important.
ensuring a healthy future
For everyone.
for all Nigerians.
It's not about blind trust.
No.
It's about knowing
It's about knowing.
that your hard-earned tax dollars
Yeah.
are being used
It
responsibly.
boils down to.
Right.
Yeah,
And you have a right
absolutely.
to demand that information,
You do.
to know
Mm-hmm.
how those funds are being allocated,
Right.
what projects
Where's the money going?
are being
What
prioritized,
are the priority?
and what impact they're having.
Exactly. What's the outcome?
Okay, so we've talked about some pretty heavy stuff. Food security,
Yeah.
illegal mining,
Mm-mm.
environmental protection.
Big issues.
Let's lighten things up a bit
Okay, sounds good.
and talk about the Ondo governorship election.
All right, let's do it.
Remember that fiery debate
I do.
we talked about earlier?
The one between
Governor Ida Tio
Ida Tua and
and Agula Ajayi
Ajay. That's right.
on Channels Television.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it was intense.
They were going at it.
They really went at it.
It was heated.
On issues like security, infrastructure,
Yeah, big topics.
job creation.
Stuff that affects everyone.
This election matters.
It does.
This is going to impact people's lives.
Absolutely.
And that's why it's so important to be an informed voter.
Couldn't agree more.
Do your research,
Yeah.
understand the candidates' positions,
Mm-hmm.
and make your voice heard
At the ballot box.
at the ballot box. Every vote counts.
Every single one.
And speaking of making your voice heard,
Okay.
how about that hashtag #EndBadGovernance movement?
Oh, yeah, that's a powerful movement.
Daily Trust and Punch newspapers
Mm-hmm.
have both had extensive coverage.
They have.
This has really captured the
Yeah,
attention of the nation.
It's a big deal.
And it speaks to this deep desire
Yeah.
for change,
For something better.
for accountability,
Absolutely.
for a government
Yeah.
that truly serves its people.
That's the goal.
It's inspiring to see citizens
Yeah.
coming together
Yeah.
and demanding better.
Making their voices heard.
It's complex, though.
It is, for sure. There are
Mhm.
lots of perspectives.
There are different
There are
perspectives,
different approaches.
different approaches to achieving these goals.
Mm-hmm.
What resonates with you about this movement?
I think what stands out to me
Yeah.
is the emphasis on peaceful protest.
Yeah.
You know, using your voice
Mm-hmm.
to advocate for change,
Right.
but doing it within the framework
Yeah.
of a democratic society.
Working within the system.
Exactly.
It's about holding leaders accountable,
For sure.
but it's also about
Mm-hmm.
engaging in constructive dialogue
Yes.
and working towards solutions together.
That's how we move forward.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground
Yeah.
from the very local to the national,
Yeah.
touching on some
A little bit of everything.
pretty intense issues.
Yeah, some heavy stuff.
But that's what this deep dive is all about,
It is getting into the nitty-gritty.
getting a real sense
Mhm.
of what's happening in Nigeria
Yeah.
and understanding how it all connects back to you.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Making it relevant
Exactly.
to everyday life.
And we've still got more to explore.
Oh, yeah, we're just getting started.
Let's move on to the economic front,
Okay.
where some exciting developments
Ooh, exciting.
are taking place.
I'm intrigued.
Punch newspapers reported
Okay.
on the federal government's ambitious
Ambitious
tax reform plans,
tax reform. Interesting.
aiming for an 18% tax to GDP ratio
18%.
by 2026.
That's a big goal.
That's a significant jump.
It is.
Makes you wonder, what's the strategy there?
Yeah, what's the plan?
And what's it going to mean for everyday Nigerians?
Yeah, what's the impact?
Well, the government argues
Okay.
that increased revenue
Mm-hmm.
is crucial
Okay.
for funding essential services and
Yeah.
infrastructure projects.
Makes sense.
Think about the roads you drive on,
Yeah.
the schools your children attend,
The hospitals we rely on.
the hospitals you rely on. These all depend
That-
on
They do.
a strong and stable economy.
Absolutely. We need that foundation.
But wouldn't increasing taxes
Yeah.
put a strain
That's the question, isn't it?
on individuals
Mm-hmm.
and businesses,
It's a balancing act.
especially in the current economic climate?
Yeah, that's a valid concern.
That's the debate, right?
It is.
The government needs to find a balance
Mhm.
between generating enough revenue
Right.
to fund those essential services
Yeah.
without placing an undue burden on taxpayers.
It's a tough one.
It's a delicate act.
It is.
And this is something you should be paying attention to.
I'll be watching.
How do you feel
Yeah.
about these proposed tax reforms?
It's something to think about for sure.
Do you think they're necessary?
I'm not sure yet.
Or do you have concerns about their impact?
It could go either way.
And while we're on the topic of the economy,
Okay.
how about that news from Daily Trust
Yeah.
about Dangote Refinery setting their petrol price at N990 liter?
Wow. That's a big deal.
This is a major development.
It is.
The entry of Dangote Refinery,
Yeah.
with its massive production capacity,
Mm-hmm.
is going to shake things up
It's going to be a game changer.
in the Nigerian energy market.
For sure.
It could mean increased competition,
Yeah.
which could lead to lower fuel prices
I hope so.
for you at the
Yeah.
pump.
Fingers crossed.
Something we'll be watching closely.
Absolutely. We got to keep an eye on that.
Speaking of things,
Mm-hmm.
we should be watching closely.
Okay.
The Nation newspaper highlighted
Yeah.
the Association of Facility Management Practitioners, Nigeria,
Okay.
AFMPN,
Got it.
emphasizing the role
Mm-hmm.
of effective facility management
Interesting.
in boosting the nation's economy.
Okay, tell me more.
This might sound like a niche topic,
It kind of does.
but think about it this way.
Okay.
Well-maintained infrastructure
Right.
is crucial for economic growth.
Makes sense.
Efficiently managed buildings,
Yeah.
reliable transportation networks,
Mhm.
safe and functional workplaces.
Yeah.
These all create a positive environment for
Pretty good.
businesses to thrive
Right.
and for you to live and work comfortably.
Absolutely. It all comes together.
It's about creating
Mhm.
a sustainable ecosystem
Yeah,
for economic activity.
for sure.
And on that note,
Okay.
how about Bade Nigeria
Yeah.
and their partnership
Mm-hmm.
with the Pan-Africa Private Sector ESG Forum?
ESG.
The Nation newspaper
Mm-hmm.
had an interesting piece on that.
I'm listening.
So this partnership
Yeah.
is a sign that Nigerian businesses are starting to take
Mm-hmm.
environmental,
Right.
social,
Yeah.
and governance factors seriously.
That's what ESG stands for, right?
Exactly. ESG.
Got it.
It's a positive step.
It is, for sure.
ESG principles
Yeah.
are all about businesses
Mm-hmm.
taking responsibility
Absolutely.
for their impact on the world around them.
We need more of that.
And for you, the listener,
Yeah.
this means
Mm-hmm.
supporting companies
Okay.
that align with your values.
Right.
Companies that are committed
Yeah.
to ethical practices,
Mm-hmm.
environmental sustainability,
Absolutely.
and social responsibility.
That's what it's all about.
It's about making
Yeah.
conscious choices.
As consumers.
As consumers,
We
they
owe
have the
this
power
day.
to choose.
Now let's talk about a story
Okay.
that really warmed my heart.
All right. I love a good heartwarming story.
This was lawmaker Gbolahanyu Shawu
Okay.
launching a program to support families
Oh, wow.
dealing with neurodevelopmental disorders,
It's amazing.
particularly autism.
Good for him.
This was featured in the Nation newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fantastic initiative.
It is.
You know, neurodevelopmental disorders present
They do.
unique challenges for families.
Absolutely.
And Yashawu's program
Yeah.
aims to provide much-needed support,
Wow.
resources,
Mhm.
and a sense of community. That's so important.
It's about creating a more inclusive society
Yeah.
where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
I love that.
Right.
For sure.
And on the topic of inclusivity,
Okay.
how about the French embassy in Nigeria
All right.
collaborating with A4Off
Mm-hmm.
to promote the Nigerian film
Oh, wow.
and creative industry?
That's awesome.
Another great story
Yeah.
from the Nation newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
I do too.
Nollywood is such
Incredible.
a vibrant and
Yeah.
powerful force
Mm-hmm.
for storytelling
So much talent.
and cultural expression.
Mm-hmm.
And this collaboration
Yeah.
could open
I heard
doors
about the whole new world.
for Nigerian filmmakers
Yeah.
on a global stage.
That's huge.
Imagine the impact
I know. It's exciting.
sharing Nigerian stories
Mm-hmm.
with the world,
Yeah.
showcasing the talent,
The creativity.
the creativity that exists here.
That's amazing.
It's exciting.
It is.
And finally,
Okay.
we have the Association of Industrial Hygienists
Mm-hmm.
in Lagos,
Okay.
AIHN,
Got it.
getting ready for their annual conference.
Yeah.
This was reported by the Nation newspaper,
Mm-hmm.
and they're focusing on
Yeah.
occupational health and safety.
That's important.
This may not sound
It might not be the most glamorous topic.
like the most thrilling topic,
It's a crucial.
but it's incredibly important.
Absolutely.
Ensuring safe and healthy working conditions
Mm-hmm.
is essential,
It is.
not just from a legal standpoint,
Right.
but from an ethical one.
Absolutely. We got to take care of each other.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Occupational health and safety
Yeah.
is about protecting workers,
Mm-hmm.
promoting well-being,
Yeah.
creating a culture of prevention.
Absolutely.
And this conference is a chance
It is.
for professionals in the field
Mm-hmm.
to come together,
Yeah.
share knowledge,
Learn from each other.
and work towards
Mm-hmm.
creating safer and healthier workplaces.
Uh-huh.
For all Nigerians,
That's the goal.
it's about recognizing the value
Absolutely.
of every worker
Mm-hmm.
and ensuring that their well-being
Yeah.
is a top priority.
That's how it should be.
So we've covered quite a bit of ground
We have.
in this second part of our deep
Lots
dive,
of information.
from food security
Yeah.
and political debates
Mm-hmm.
to economic developments
Right.
and inspiring social initiatives.
We've run the gamut.
It's been a whirlwind tour
It has.
of the Nigerian news cycle.
A little bit of everything.
But we're not done yet.
There's more to come.
There's still more to uncover,
Oh, yeah.
more to discuss,
You're just getting warmed up.
and more to connect back to you,
Absolutely.
the listener.
You're the reason we're here.
So stay tuned
Yeah.
for the final part of our deep dive,
Can't wait.
where we'll wrap things up
We'll tie it all together.
and leave you with some thought-provoking questions
To ponder.
to ponder.
Absolutely.
Welcome back, everyone, to the final part, the grand finale.
Of our deep dive into Nigeria's news this week.
We made it.
We've covered a ton,
We have.
from worries about food security
Mm-hmm.
to the political scene,
Yeah.
economic developments,
All the big stuff.
even some really inspiring community initiatives.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. So as we wrap up,
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, what are your biggest takeaways?
Ooh, that's a good question.
What really stuck with you?
You know, one thing that really resonated with me
Yeah.
was the whole theme of citizen engagement.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it with those #EndBadGovernance protests,
Right.
the calls for transparency with that ecological fund,
Yeah.
even those passionate debates around the Ondo
It
election.
was heated.
It really highlights how we all have a role to play
Absolutely.
in shaping the future of Nigeria.
Yeah, whether it's through peaceful protest, holding our officials accountable,
Yeah.
or even just having those tough conversations with friends and family.
With the people around you.
Every little bit counts. It all adds up.
I think another takeaway
Mm-hmm.
is just how connected all these issues are.
Oh, absolutely.
We saw how food insecurity
Yeah.
is linked to conflict, climate change,
And the economy.
economic instability.
It's all intertwined.
It's like a chain reaction.
It is. One thing leads to another.
But amidst all these challenges,
Mm-hmm.
we saw amazing people stepping up.
So many inspiring stories.
Mayor Oshinoa's free health mission.
Yeah.
Mothers fighting pediatric HIV.
Amazing work.
Lawmaker Yushawu supporting families with neurodevelopmental disorders.
It gives you hope, right?
It does.
It shows you what's possible.
So before we go,
Mm-hmm.
I want to leave everyone with a final thought.
Okay, sure.
Considering everything we've talked about,
Yeah.
what role do you see yourself playing
Ooh,
in shaping Nigeria's future?
that's a powerful question.
It's not just about reading the news.
No.
It's about being part of the story.
Exactly.
Each of us has the power to make a difference. So keep exploring these stories.
Stay engaged.
Remember, the future's being written every day,
We're all part of it.
and you have a voice.
Never forget that.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
We'll see you next time.